It's over, Paul Thurrott.
Yeah.
It's over.
You're talking, of course, about car thing.
Wait, what thing? Oh, Spotify?
I
Oh,
took a leap
no.
in
I
the
was
dark
talking
there. Excuse me.
I was not. I was referring to the impressive year-over-year growth for all major tech companies appears to be. We have reached the end of the line.
It's still major growth. It's just,
Yeah, just not insane growth.
I mean, the pandemic growth thing had to end, right? We've been looking for this.
We've been waiting for the pandemic to end. That's
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, things do seem to drag on these days, don't they?
yeah. It just kind of doesn't want to go away.
Yeah.
Like an old girlfriend, just kind of floating. Just
Wow. I have a story about that to share with you privately. But anyway,
I have one as well. Actually, after this, we can diverge on that. Whatever. Not to be recorded and broadcasted publicly. Anyways,
Yes.
Microsoft reported Microsoft and Google reported their earnings yesterday. Both companies missed. Microsoft's miss was a little less like outside their control because they lost a lot of money on foreign exchange, which was really tough to predict. It was like 500 million was on that, and so maybe kind of sort of got it there. But either way, technically both companies missed. But Microsoft and Google, for that matter, both had, I believe, net income of about 16 billion. Microsoft's biggest sort of, I don't know, they blamed a lot of things. They said the plants shutting down in China impacted them, not just their own Surface hardware, but if a Dell product comes down the line and doesn't get a Windows license, then they don't get a sale.
That's right.
Xbox was underperforming for the quarter, and revenue, or I should say Azure growth, was only about 1%. Revenue, I think, or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember. Something was 1%. Maybe it's 1%.
40%. Am I missing something?
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows? I'm going to look at this a little more closely today.
Actually, no. I think it was they were predicting 1% growth for next quarter, year over year, in a certain way. But like it was like 40%, I think, for the quarter. So
yeah.
A lot of numbers.
Well, these are big numbers. I mean, somebody asked about this in the comments. It was like, well, these companies are all reporting double-digit growth in various categories. How is this, only in this world could this be disappointing? And it's like, no, this is, that's not how that works. I mean, double-digit growth is great, but, Microsoft in particular revised their financial, what do they call it? Like a financial expectations for the quarter midstream because it was going to come in way under their initial guidance. And then what it came in on was under their second guidance. So it collapsed even further as the quarter went on. So it really just has to do with their performance relative to expectations, which are driven in large part by companies that tend to be kind of conservative. So when they miss those marks, that's a bad sign. That means something bad has happened. I'm not a financial expert, so I'll just stop talking there. But that's my just having covered Microsoft's financials for so many years. I mean, that's where that comes from. But yeah, I mean, double-digit growth, whatever. These are enormous companies making huge sums of money in a difficult financial environment. Google and Microsoft are kind of interesting because they both have big cloud plays, and I think they're set up for the future, and they'll be fine. We don't have to worry about them. They're not going the way of Toys R Us or Sears. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that 1% Azure number from. I remember reading it somewhere. Just ignore most things I say.
Sure.
So if you're trying to wonder how, I don't know, the market is looking at Microsoft these days, this morning, as of, I pulled it up. So the latest on Microsoft Corporation, it says analysts cheer Microsoft's cloud result and upbeat forecast. Wednesday's hottest analyst calls, Microsoft is included. Stock making biggest moves, including Microsoft. So
I don't know if you looked at. I'm sure you read or at least browsed through their press release, right?
Yep.
Satya Nadella. If we were to offer up a criticism of this man, it is that, and I've often voiced it this way: he can talk for an hour on stage. You can get a transcript of it, pump it through that word feature that, distills it down to the fine points, and it just comes up with nothing. Like, he doesn't say anything. His quote, and granted, this was provided by marketers. It's not like he really said this, but his quote in their press releases literally says nothing. It's so devoid of information that it removed a childhood memory when I read it. There's like nothing there. He says, we see a real opportunity to help every customer in every industry use digital technology to overcome today's challenges and emerge stronger. What? Now, CFO Amy Hood had something to say, and she, she talked or referenced they're not hiring, and said something that the Google CFO or Alphabet CFO also said, which was, we're going to make strategic bets in the current quarter, put spending where it makes sense, because it's a challenging time. We can't just, hire everybody and pursue every particular product or service we might want to do. Like, we have to, laser focus, and that's where we are in this world. But I don't know. Satya Nadella, he always cracks me up.
Here we are. Surface revenue, by the way, was up 10%, which is somewhat interesting because they didn't launch. I mean, they had the Surface Go 3.
So all you can do, I haven't done this yet. Like I said, I'm going to look into this more deeply this morning, but all you can do there is look at the prior year comparable and then look back in time at what their product mix looked like and when they had announced new products. The thing that's been kind of surprising to me over the previous 2 quarters was that Microsoft came out with a really strong new product lineup, I think, in fall 2021. And we haven't really seen a big bump in revenues or whatever from that yet. So this time we sort of did. I bet it's just a stronger lineup compared to what they had a year ago. It's a kind of a vague thing to say, but I don't know. It's a weird quarter for them to do well in. I mean, I think calendar year Q2 is not historically a strong time for PC sales, I would imagine. I don't know. It's interesting.
I don't know if you can hear that, but Zeus has decided to interrupt.
What has?
Zeus. I don't know. Throwing lightning bolts at trees near my house, apparently. It was that my roof just came off. I don't know what the hell that noise was. But yeah, here we are. They are having a Surface event this fall, by the way. So, I mean, that's sort of a given. It's a 10-year anniversary of Surface. They're going to have an event. So maybe, I don't know.
Can I say this publicly? I'm trying to think if this matters. I've heard from multiple sources that Microsoft is going to do a hybrid Ignite event this year in October. However, I've now heard that the press will not be invited to this event. Yeah.
Wondering.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what Microsoft's going to do?
Well, I'd like to go back to Seattle.
Yeah.
Is really the selfish point of that.
Enjoyed your time up there?
Yeah, I love Seattle. It's been a long time. It had been a long time.
The Edgewater Hotel you stayed at too. It's a nice
It's an
place.
interesting place. If I was footing the bill, I don't think I would stay there. I think there's a Red Roof Inn with my name on it somewhere. But yeah, it was nice. It was really nice. And a good location.
Yeah. So overall, Microsoft's still really darn healthy. Ridiculous.
Oh yeah. They are nicely positioned. Honestly, I think the biggest story in this kind of post-pandemic Microsoft thing is they gave away a lot of stuff for 18 months to 2 years, right? They added and added and added and didn't charge anything for it. I think the thing you're starting to see, and this is not the end of the pandemic. I think we all know that just drags on forever. But a return to normalcy of sorts is when Microsoft starts charging for things that are new. So they start creating new SKUs. They created that new, Viva is one. There's kind of I can't remember the name of the security SKU, but not Defender, but they pulled some stuff out that used to be free in Windows, and now it's going to be part of a paid, And I think that's an interesting indication. They're starting to look for revenue sources to position them again for the future. But I think, for the past year or two, it's been, let's get the customers in first. Let's keep them going. Obviously, there's a need here. I don't know. Maybe this will be a time for them to shore up their data center situation. We were running into capacity issues for a while there.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
We'll see. For those keeping score at home, Apple will report earnings tomorrow. I don't know when Meta does.
Amazon, I think, is tomorrow too. if I'm not mistaken. It's coming right up whenever it is.
Why am I using Bing? It doesn't tell me what I need to know in life. Like if I type Meta earnings July 2022, like it should give me a date, not a.
You're right, it should.
But it doesn't.
I just looked at Amazon's press site because July 28th for Amazon. I was looking for something else, but
why is it it's not pulling back? Well, there you go. Google isn't pulling it back either. So, Meta. What if I just do Meta earnings? That does it. Today, 5 p.m.
There you go. That'll be exciting.
I'm
Can't
sure
wait for all that Oculus revenue number.
Yeah, they're jacking up the price of Oculus.
Yeah, it must be going gangbusters. They can just raise prices.
Based on all the things that have quote unquote leaked out of there, where it sounds like things aren't going super well, I think a lot of people are expecting their earnings to be a bit of a hit in a negative way.
Right, like a hit job kind of a hit.
Yes, not a hit like a blockbuster hit or something you put on a hip clip. And if you guys understand what that is, you are from my generation.
There's some really violent imagery around pop music. Like it's a hit. Or it's number one with a bullet. Like, guys, what's going on? Is this some kind of a mob tie to the music business reference? I mean, that's kind of interesting when you think about it. Anybody? No? Nothing?